Hey everyone, it is Romano, and I'm here at Clearydale Farm, and today I'm going to ask questions to a real farmer. So right now I'm on Clearydale Farm, and I'm here with Doug Clearly.
Yes.
And I want to ask you some questions to ask whatever kind of farmers, beef, dairy, and poultry.
So we're a dairy farm.
So dairy farm. So are your cows raised on pasture, basically on fields? If
No.
not, how are they raised?
No, we raise them. It's called confined living.
Fine. What does it mean confined living?
Well, we have several different barns. Each barn is for a separate age group of animal. We have the milking barn, which is right here, the main milking barn. That's where the cows that get milked
Barn.
live.
That's where the cows get milked.
Down in this barn, we have for the little baby calves when
Yeah.
they're first born.
Baby calves.
And then they move from that barn to another barn where we raise them up till they're about 10 or 12 months,
Okay, basically a year.
and then they go into this barn, which is called an open front barn, and that's where we raise them up until they're confirmed pregnant. They're at the breeding age in that barn.
Okay.
Then once they're pregnant, they go back to another barn where they'll stay until they have their calf.
All right.
And then once they have their baby calf, then they come into the milking barn, and the baby calf goes down to the calf barn, and it starts the cycle all over again.
Yes.
We used to pasture our cows. We used to pasture our cows. Years ago, and we had the barn so they could go out on pasture or stay in the barn, whichever they wanted. And they probably spent 22 hours a day in the barn.
22 hours, almost a day.
Almost a day, most of the day in the barn, and a little bit of time outside. And so after a while, we decided, well, they'd rather be inside where it's shaded in the summer. There's no bugs. It's warm in the winter. There's lots of feed and water right there. So they preferred to stay in. So we just left them in from then on.
Yeah. All right. So are your cows fed anything else other than grass, hay, and grass silage?
We feed them grass silage and corn silage. We also feed them high moisture corn, which is the kernel of the corn all ground up.
Now, as my dad mentioned earlier, that not cows, they never ever want to get fed corn.
Oh yeah, no.
All they want to do is to either get fed grass.
No, they like corn. Actually, they really like corn. They like corn. We feed them corn in a couple of different ways. Corn silage is the whole corn plant, all cut up and fed, and there's also grain corn, and
Grain corn,
which is just the kernel fed. Same as if you had corn on the cob.
Yes, corn on the
same,
cob.
Same as that.
Same as that.
And we also feed them soybeans, soybean grain, and we feed them minerals.
Minerals.
Salt.
Salt.
Same as you might take your vitamin pill every day. Well, they get.
I take my vitamin pill every morning.
Every morning.
So.
Well, we put the vitamins and minerals in their feed for them. We mix it all up. That machine right there, behind that tractor, that red machine, that's the feed mixer. So all the feed goes in. We stir it all up, and then we feed it to them. And that way they can't pick and choose and just take the good stuff. They have to take everything.
Is that right? So, are your cows given RBGH, meaning bovine growth hormone?
Hormone, no.
Or hormone, or
No,
any
no.
type of synthetic hormone?
We do use hormones sometime to help us get them pregnant. It'd be similar as a woman taking a birth control pill, similar kind of hormones, but we sometimes use them because a cow has to be pregnant, have her calf before she'll give milk. And so if we're having trouble getting her pregnant, we'll give her a hormone to bring her into cycle so we know when to breed her, and then get her pregnant. But those are the only kinds of hormones we use.
Yes, we do. So, are your cows ever given antibiotics?
Antibiotics? We do use antibiotics if they're sick.
Yes.
If they're sick, we'll give them.
And we use them as special treatment.
Yeah, just as treatments. Not regular, not to, like they don't all get it. It's just if a cow is sick, we give it to them.
Yes.
So
So, How long do dairy cows stay in your herd?
It varies. We have the oldest cow we have right now is, I believe, 11 years old.
Yeah.
But the average milk cow would be probably 5 years old, maybe.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. So that would be the average age.
Well, usually dairy cows, they usually stay in herd for usually 10 to 15 years.
Could be. It depends on a lot of different factors. How good their production is, and how many other young cattle you have to replace the milk cow. So there's lots of factors that determine how long a cow stays in the herd. So the feed mixer, we put all the feed in, and there's a scale on it. There's a scale here, so we
Yes.
right there. So we weigh all the feed, and you can see in here there's 2,755 kilos of feed in here right now. Put it all in, stir it all up, and then feed it to the cows.
Yeah.
And that way, by weighing it and feeding every day, we're consistent. Cows like to be consistent. They like to be bored.
What do you mean
So-
by the cows want to be consistent?
They want the same thing every day, day after day. They're not like you and I, like things different all the time. They want it the same all the time.
That's right.
So by weighing the feed, we know exactly how much we're feeding each time. We're not mixing it up on them and changing it all the time. It's always the same. So this is what's called a freestall barn, and it means that the cows are free to wander around. They can come and eat when they
Very
like,
free.
go and lay down whenever they like. Yep. There's water there for them. This blade on the ground floor there, it keeps the floor clean, scrapes the floor all the time. And so in a freestall barn, as I said, the cows can wander around the barn and do whatever they want to do.
Wow.
In the summer, the walls come right down, so it's wide open outside, and they're on a thermostat, so it depends on the temperature. If it warmed up today, they would open right up.
Wow. That's important.
So there's lots of good, nice fresh air. We have these big ceiling fans in the summer. They run. They spin around, keep the air moving. We also have a sprinkler system here.
Where's that?
This right here. So in the summer when it gets 70 degrees, then we'll spray water on the cows every 15 minutes. We'll spray on the cows for 2 minutes, and that's to cool them off. So it's a cooling, like an air conditioning system for them, keeping it cool. Because cows produce a lot of heat. When they eat this, the grass and the corn silage, the energy required to convert that into feed or into energy and milk takes a lot of energy. So they produce a lot of heat when they eat that, when they digest it. So in the summertime you have to cool them off. But in the wintertime, this barn can be minus 15 inside here, and they're happy. They don't care because they produce so much heat themselves that they stay nice and warm.
Okay.
So you can go in on your computer and look up in Holstein, Canada, and look up the number. It's the smaller number. The big number is the one for us to know who she is. It's easy to identify. There's a small number in there, that small print, but it's what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8 letter, 8, 9 numbers long. That number, if you went out in Holstein, Canada, you could get her whole history, her genetic makeup, her parentage, all her production records, all that sort of stuff is recorded. Well, they've got lots of feed. They can wander around, do what they want. They can lay down
As you
anytime they
mentioned
want.
earlier.
Yep. So that makes them happy. We keep the stalls nice and well bedded up, so they're soft and comfortable. So this is the milk tank, and it holds 15,000 liters.
15,000 liters. That's crazy.
Yep. And the milk truck comes every second day. So it was here this morning. So
Every
it's
second day.
currently empty. But each day, every second day it comes, and we're sending right now 9,350 to 9,400 liters every 2 days
That's,
of milk.
so every 2 days you get a large liter of milk.
Yeah. Now this just started up. This is the wash system. Before the cows get milked,
Yeah.
the whole system gets sanitized.
Whole system gets sanitized.
So we'll be milking at 12 o'clock. So it just started up to sanitize it before we milk.
How long does it take to milk a cow?
It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to milk a cow.
5 to 10 minutes.
Varies. Some cows milk faster than others,
Yeah.
but 5 to 10 minutes usually milks a cow.
Do you milk one cow at a time?
No, we have what's called a milking parlor, and in the milking parlor we milk 16 cows at a time,
Yes.
8 on each side.
8 on each side.
And if you come in here, we'll see.
Yeah.
So we can come down in the parlor in the pit. Whoa! Whoa!
That was close.
So the cows will walk in 8 on each side and stand with their head against the wall and their udder and back legs out at this side. And that way we can get in here to attach the milker. This is the milker. It's down in the wash position right now. So it will get all sanitized. And then when we start to milk, the cows will come in. We'll wash the cow's teat off,
Yes.
clean the teat and disinfect it, put the milker on, and then go do the next cow. We'll put on 8 on this side. Once they're all on and milking, then we do the 8 on this side. And by the time we're done putting these 8 on, the 8 on this side are all done milking. They all come off automatically when they're done milking.
Yes.
We put a disinfectant on their teats again to sterilize their teat. And then we release them and they're free to go back out in the barn to walk
Yes,
around.
so free to go back in the barn after their milk.
Yeah.
Milk is what you're saying.
They come in from that end, and then they go out and to the left, front end. And this unit down here, this is the meter, so this will record how much milk each cow is giving. And this is the display and the control for it. And it'll show us how much she gave, and then that will be recorded on the computer in the office. We've had computers here. The first computer we had here was in 1987. They almost really didn't even have computers at that time that were of any value, but in 1987 we had our first milk recording system operated by computer. So this winter we're going to be installing robots to milk the cows. We'll be installing it on the other side of the wall. There will be 3 robotic milkers, and the cows will just come and get milked whenever they want. So they can. So now, by next spring, we hope to be running by March. The cows will be free to go and eat, go lay down, wander around, come and get milked whenever they want, and nobody will even have to be in the barn to milk them. They'll be all milked by themselves.
How do you know if a cow wants to get milked?
Well, when a cow is giving a lot of milk, their udder is only a certain size, and their udder gets full of milk, and then they want to release that milk,
They
get
do
rid of
want
it.
to release that milk.
So there's pressure on the cow's udder. And so this is the wash system starting up, and now you'll see there's going to be water start circulating through the milkers here.
Right.
See, there's the water starts, and that's how it's washed. The system is washed, how it's washed. It depends. When you're done milking, it goes through 3 stages. It does a rinse, and then it washes with soap, and then it washes with acid, and then just before you milk again, it washes with chlorine to sterilize. So the soap stage, the rinse stage is very short. It's just to get the excess milk out of the line. And then the soap stage, it would circulate for maybe 15 minutes, maybe not that long. And then the acid stage is very short too. It doesn't take much to do it for the acid stage.
Where does the water come from?
The water, we have a well that supplies all the water for all the cows, and they drink a lot of water in a day, so it takes a lot of water for the cows to drink, and all the water for washing and everything, it all comes from that well. It's a very good well. There's the computers that look after all the records from all the data from the cows. This computer here is actually showing that there were 2 cows that when they were milked, when they came through, that activity monitor on their leg recorded that they were active last night, and these two I have to breed them today. And it shows that how active they were at different stages of the night. And you can go on and you can see a graph of each cow, and you can see here that there was a spike in activity. This was and a spike in activity and a spike in activity. So the normal breeding cycle of a cow is 21 days.
21 days.
So she was active back here on this cow was 23 days ago.
23 days
So,
ago.
so this cow has got a little longer cycle than the average, because an average is just some are higher, some are lower. So hers is a little longer than the average cow. But these spikes here, that gives you a good idea of if she is actually in heat or not. And then when we breed her using artificial insemination. So we have semen from bulls from all over the world, and they're frozen, so they're bred artificially. We have no bulls on the farm here for breeding purposes. It's all bred artificially. So we can breed her to a bull from Australia or Europe or the United States or Canada, from all over the place. This told me they were in heat in the middle of the night when no one was around. They just start chasing each other around. It's like
how do they do that?
It's like with the deer, you get the rutting. See, when they start rutting.
Okay.
So same with the cows. When one gets in heat, she'll start getting more interested in everybody else, and she goes around checking everybody else, and
Yes.
just more
Okay.
active. You'll see you've maybe seen on nature channels where the elk start ramming heads together, fighting.
Yeah, they start fighting.
Yeah, and that's in the mating season. Well, that's the same with the
Mating
cows
season.
here. They start ramming around more when they're in heat to be bred.
Mhm.
So, they also, we don't have them, but they do have, they call them boluses. It's like a pill that you can put in the cow, and that it records their body temperature, records the acidity of their stomach.
The acidity of
So
their
you can
stomach.
use it to check, see if a cow's sick, if their
That-
diet
that's
is
their
off,
sugar.
if their diet is causing acidity levels in their stomach to be out of whack. So there are all kinds of things like that you can do. So these are the little ones. These ones are about 2 months old in this pen.
Okay.
And
2
we
months
have
old.
some down at the far end that are 2 days old.
How often are calves born?
Calves born. We have calves born about 10 to 12 every month.
It's 10 to 12 every month.
Yeah. Sometimes more. Sometimes we'll get up to 20 in a month, and sometimes down to 8. But anywhere from 8 to 20 in a month.
8 to 20, or I mean, 8 to 20 in about a month.
Yeah.
I thought it was not full on a pile of hay.
These ones in here are pretty friendly, I think.
Shy. Hey. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Hey, where you going? Don't be shy.
This one.
You're trying.
Right.
Okay. Alright. Fine. Fine. Hey, I recently heard something. There was a cow moving. Alright.
So the way the calves get fed is in each pen here, there's a little nipple. And you'll see if you look over the side over here, they're sucking on this nipple. So they can get milk whenever they like. It's free choice for them. They can just come and suck on the nipple. So the milk is stored in the room at the far end in a tank, and then it comes underground here in a pipe and comes up to each of the nipples.
Okay.
And it comes up in this insulated box to keep it warm so it doesn't freeze in the wintertime. Just a hot water line alongside the milk line, and that just is enough to keep it warm.
Do you know where the range is from the smallest cows, which is right here, to the largest cows, which is over here?
Okay. In this pen here, the youngest one was just 2 days old. And at the far end, they're 2 months old.
2 months old.
So 60 days difference from the
60 days.
youngest to the oldest.
How old does a cow to be if they want to give milk to another cow?
Okay. A cow has to, before a cow can give milk, she has to have a baby. So, and usually we try to have them have their first baby at 2 years old.
At 2 years old.
2 years old. So they'll have their baby, and then they'll start producing milk, and we'll harvest that milk and sell it.
How big is the farm?
Okay, our farm is we have 1,300 acres that we crop.
Acres from crop.
Yep, and we have 320 head of cattle.
Right.
So about half of the acreage goes to feed the cows, and the other half we sell the crops as cash crops.
Yeah.
So we sell corn to Cardinal Starch, where they make corn sweeteners and Mazzolo corn oil and things like that. And we sell corn to the ethanol plant at Johnstown, where they make ethanol for your car fuel. And we sell soybeans.
Soybeans? What are soybeans?
Soybeans, they're a high protein bean that people make soy oil and tofu and the meal. If they squeeze it and take the oil out of it, then the meal that's left over, we feed it to the cows.
Feed it to the cows.
Yeah. So.
And why is the farm very big?
Well, it takes a lot of acres to feed animals, and we have extra acres because we have to have this machinery to grow the crops to feed the cows, and if we have extra time, we can grow extra crop that we can sell, make extra money that way.
Yeah. So the reason why the farm is big, as you say, because we need a lot of acres to feed all the other farm animals.
Yeah.
And yeah, we need to raise a lot of money for that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the important part.
That's definitely one of the most important parts. What is that big green dome right there?
The big green dome is it's called a methane digester.
A methane digester.
So there's a
methane
tank.
Digester?
There's a tank underground that's 20 feet deep and 92 feet across, and it holds 3,000 cubic meters of waste from the farm, which includes the manure. It includes bedding from under the cows. Manure, that's the cow's poop. And we also put in corn silage, and we put in waste. There's a truck unloading back there right now, and that's got waste from the local grain elevator. We put all that into that big tank, and with the dome on top, and the dome on top is where the gas collects.
The gas collects.
So the methane gas collects under the roof of that dome, and then we pipe it over into this gray building down here, and in that building there's 2 engines with generators on them that produce 250 kilowatts of electricity each, so a total of 500 kilowatts. So that's enough electricity for about 400 houses, and that's what we're producing, that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that is all coming from waste products. And then whatever comes out of the digester goes into our manure pit, and we spread it on the field, and that's the fertilizer for the field to grow our crops.
Mr. Cleary, what do you use
Corn
for?
Well, we sell the corn, but corn can be used in over 3,000 different products.
Yeah.
They use corn in your tires, rubber tires. They use corn in spark plugs. They use corn in Mazzolo corn oil. Yeah. They use it in toothpaste. It's in Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola?
It's the sweetener they use in soft drinks.
Yes.
3,000 items they use it in, so it's used for a lot of things. They also use it for ethanol. You burn it in your car, in your gasoline.
Yes.
So, yep, it's got a lot of uses.
What does this big machine on your behind do?
This machine is a corn planter and soybean planter. So we use it in the spring.
Yeah.
It's 30 feet wide. The whole thing turns sideways, and then these will sit down on the ground. And as we drive across the field, it will plant the seeds in the ground. We plant anywhere from 32 to 40,000 seeds per acre while you're driving along. It cuts a little hole in the ground, drops the seed in, closes the dirt back over it as you're driving along.
Can you tell me what's going on right now?
Okay, right now we're milking. Greg here is milking these cows. So this group of cows is all finished milking, so they're going to be exiting the parlor. This group of cows on this side, the milkers have just put on them. So they'll be staying in here until they're done. This is recording how much milk they give. So this cow number 1809, so far it's given 9.44 liters of milk. And now it'll flash, and then she'll be at 9.54 liters. So as her production, you can see she's giving the milk here. And it comes down through and goes through this meter, and this meter records or measures how much milk she's given.
How much milk will one cow get?
We have cows that will give up to 60 liters in a day. So this one here has given 14.23 liters this time, but she gets milk 3 times. So she will give, you know,
Yes.
3 times 14.
Oh,
This
no.
one's given 16.5. This cow here is given 16.54 liters. So it varies. They give different amounts, but usually our cows will peak maximum production at about 60 liters. Some udders really shrink down as they give milk. Others don't shrink down so much.
So the cows on my right here done. So they will advance.
We crowd them into a holding area, and then they come in here. Come on, Cal. Come on. Come on. Come on there. Come on.
Come on. So it's the cow. Their cows.
You want to try milking one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you, when you try milking it,
Yeah.
you squeeze, hold your
Okay.
finger out, and you'll squeeze at the top, and then slowly squeeze to the bottom.
Yeah.
And you do that with the teeth. You squeeze at the
Got
top and squeeze down.
Got it.
Put it right in between all your fingers. Grab it with all your fingers, like just there,
Yeah, you're doing it real.
and squeeze.
It's hard.
There you got some.
Yeah.
You did it. You're hired.
There, so you milked a cow. So we dip them first
Yeah.
with a cleaning solution, and then you wipe it off. Then you milk them, and then when they're all done milking, we dip them with an iodine solution because the teat's open to let all the milk out. So it stays open for 10 or 15 minutes. So you put an iodine solution there to kill any bacteria, so you don't get bacteria going up into the udder. Now this cow here, you see we've got the tank on the floor. That's because this cow is one of the ones that just had that baby calf. So we keep that milk separate. We'll feed it to the calf for 4 days before we start using it for the milk tank.
Wow.
Or if we have to treat a cow with antibiotics, we have to keep the milk out because you can't put antibiotics treated milk into the bulk tank.
Ah, okay.
If they do, you get fined. So we catch it in this, and then we just keep that separate. She's got the red leg band on her. Also, we record on the computer that she's treated, and so the computer won't let you put the milker on her without doing a different routine.
There the cows go again, leaving.
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
Also, this one, a Holstein, a purebred Holstein, will never have black all the way around her feet. This one was a crossbred with a Norwegian red. It's a breed, so we bred a Holstein and a Norwegian red. And that's why you have it black all the way around her feet. Every other Holstein you'll see is all white around their feet. That's a trait of a purebred. This is a crossbred. There's different breeds. There's Holstein, there's Jersey, there's Guernsey, there's Brown Swiss, Norwegian red, Swedish red. There's a bunch of other European breeds. Some of them are dual purpose. They use them for meat and for milk. Where Holstein is bred just for milk mainly. So this will have more beef type traits than a pure Holstein.
I see.
But by crossing, some people think you get what they call a hybrid digger by having different crossbreeding.
Oh, okay.
So we experimented with some.
Anyhow, before I go, I just want to ask you an extra question. And my extra question is, does it ever snow in Spencerville?
Does it ever snow in Spencerville? Yes, it
Ever.
did. There was snow yesterday morning, and or Thursday morning maybe. Anyway, it does snow here.
Yes, it does.
And in 1974, I believe,
1974?
we had 13 feet of snow.
Wow.
So yes, it snows here in Spencerville.
So it snows here in Spencerville ever since 1974.
Oh, it's always snowed here in Spencerville.
And always does.
Yeah, every year.
Wait. And also, anyhow, Dad, was that good?
That was great, Ro.